Good morning. This is Glistening Banana with an oracle reading for the collective. I also am going to start with astrology. The oracle deck I'm using today is called The Secret Language of Light, Transmissions from Your Soul by Denise Jarvie. And it's a very beautiful deck. It has 45 cards and just a lot of really nice archetypes to go through. On today, Saturday, February 5th, 2022 at 8:15 in the morning, coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada. I am going to start the astrology by looking at the moon. I think that's a good start as it's our nearest celestial being, celestial body. We are currently on February 5th in a waxing crescent in Aries, which is fitting. Waxing crescent is fitting because it's about becoming, coming into being, which is extremely important for Aries energy. So I think you might find sort of a giddy, giggly energy around you, possibly at work and possibly wherever you frequent in your life. You might find a little bit of showing off energy, people kind of being show-offs a little bit. Okay, fun. This is a fun moon. It's a fun energy. Let's talk about the rest of the astrology in terms of the solar system. So let's go into just astrology for today. See where the planets are, what they're doing. So it looks like we've got Venus, Mars, Mercury, and Pluto all in Capricorn. Okay, so a lot of our attention is on our lifelong dreams, goals, and ambitions. In terms of the Pluto energy there, we might be digging up old stuff and processing through it and possibly applying it. We might have even found ourselves transformed through experiences like that, where we could, by being thorough about relevant information from the past that we can dig up, we might have even started to transform our career, or that might be where we're headed. Venus and Mercury, Hermes and Aphrodite together in Capricorn, we get power couples. We get people who actually are both in a relationship and creating business relationships, which is a very interesting energy. It's not, it's not every day, but it does happen. There are relationships like that. So it's interesting. We get people who also find a lot of vigor and passion in their career. So let's then go on to Mars being in Capricorn. So the fact that Mars is in Capricorn with Mercury and Venus is a bit much already. But it's also that we are very serious about our careers, though. I think this is good. And note that Pluto is a higher octave of Mars. So you've got two planets that are about the concept of war. Note that, Mars, we talk about war and the warrior archetype. I'll get to that when we do the reading. But Mars is an energy of what we need for aggression and our root. I associate the planet Mars with the root chakra and the human body at the bottom of the spine. And that chakra, that red chakra, it's about tribe and community and how you fit in and coming up and your structure, your foundation, where you're coming from, all of that stuff. And that's why, and it forms prior to the ego. In other words, the libido forms prior to the ego. And so you, as a Mars in your root, you're growing out of being part of a group and then distinguishing later on. But you only distinguish once you're self-aware. So before that, you're actually as you are, very naturally. And that's the energy of a ram. So it's extremely extremely, extremely beautiful energy for Aries moon right now for that. That's why this is fun. But that's why I'm saying you might be getting trickster energy. You might be getting people being giddy, because with Mars in this Capricorn with Venus and Mercury, there's a bit of a tension there, and it needs to be dissipated. So I think it's good that we have, as a collective right now, some of us, a larger majority of us, might be experiencing a bit of a sense of libido towards our career, our ambition. We might be actually going, yeah, hell yeah, I want to, hell yes. We might be saying that we want to actually, I don't know, get this money in 2022. Or maybe we're saying, hey, I want to fucking, do something cool. I want to make some new shit. I want to create some new shit. Whatever it is. Who knows what your thing is, but we might be doing that. And I think that it's a tense energy. And when I'm saying that Pluto's a higher octave of Mars, that's like the refinement of war. So that's like the art of war, or the higher logical strategic thinking of war. That's Athena, Minerva. So it's a very different kind of way of looking at it. But it's still about war though. And it is about transformation and cleaning out with the old, purging and in with the new. So death, number 9, and cycles, rebirth. Okay. So stay with that, with your, and I stay very open. We're in Aquarius season, so be very open to innovation and remixing of old ideas. We're in Aquarius season. We just had an Aquarius new moon. So, just really, it's like, really, you can remix old ideas. Or we could all have an idea that just like we could solve any crisis with just some innovative thinking. Anyway, so, let's go on to the rest of the solar system. So we've got Chiron is also in Aries. And note, Chiron is about pain, and wounds. So we've got Uranus in Taurus. So there's going to be a lot of interesting shit coming out this year for the high end of material luxuries. I have a feeling that some innovations for material luxuries are going to come out that are going to really make a lot of people rich, and make a lot of rich people have even more fun, I guess, or more luxurious experiences that are even more integrated. This might have something to do. It may have something to do with VR. I'm not sure. I'm just giving a prediction. That's all. Sorry. Saturn is in Aquarius, so we are kind of trying to push the limits, I think, of technology, innovation in this period in human history. Lots of interesting inventions coming out. And then for Jupiter to be in Pisces, this is an extremely creative time. This is a time when we can really just be creative with like everything we do. Anything can be revised or reviewed and made beautiful. The word kintsugi comes to mind. Then you've got Neptune and Pisces. Okay. This is an extremely free-for-all kind of an energy. This is running wild energy. So, we can harness it. We can use it. It is in contact with the infinite. But you as a human are going to have to really, she really bucks. The infinite, she bucks hard. And I just think that, it's kind of interesting that energy. It's like, there can be chaos, there can be unexpected things, there can be but there can just be such beautiful things and such magical things, miracles, So it's a very fun time for that. I think we're in a really nice atmosphere. This is a good day. I happy. So now we're gonna do the reading. We're gonna do the reading, and Now, 2 cards already came out, and I do 4 archetypes. I do the king, the warrior, the lover, and the mage. The king is the ego. It's in astrology associated with the sun, the solar plexus chakra. I, or the I concept, I am. It's the idea of the self, and it's basically the king has to, have his castle and has certain rules in his kingdom and is like in charge of the mage, the warrior, and the lover. From like, if you want to YouTube Robert Moore, his dark lectures, you'll get more context on what I mean by these 4 archetypes, and also Carl Jung, of course. He was the one who was dissecting the psyche into archetypes and giving us, ideas about the sources of energy and where they were coming from and what they were like. So please YouTube Carl Jung and Robert Moore in order to get more on that. But the king, anyway, in you is the part that just needs to have the castle. Its power is blessing, so the king can bless, and the purpose of the king is expression, like self-expression, so expressing your truth, your authenticity, etc. So so that's the first card. So what does the collective's king need to know today? And then after that, I'll do warrior, lover, and mage, and I'll explain each of the other archetypes in just a minute. So here's the first one. 11, remembrance. And I'm not taking reversals today, by the way. I should have said that before I started. I'm going to read the booklet because I'm actually a little floored. I mean, the first word comes to mind is nostalgia, which I like. I like that. But then I also am biased when it comes to nostalgia and liking it because of who I am as a human being. But I do think that might be where we're coming from. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to read a little bit from the book. It says, recall your soul truth. You are ready to live your life from the wisdom of your heart. You may have been citing 1111 as a reflection of this. If not, you can expect to be receiving this sign soon. With this wisdom, fresh and innovative ideas will flow into your mind as new ways to live your life. No one else has to change their ways, only you. Live from your heart, be an inspiration, and discover a new world. You must have awoken on some level to receive 1111 as an awakening code. It is a sign that you are much more than you think you are. 1111 has many different explanations because we are all asking different questions. There is no right or wrong meaning, but at the heart of 1111 is a loving, intelligent energy that will always encourage you towards your soul, where you will remember the truth of you. So it's almost like, okay, hear me out. This is my little theory. This is what's coming up to me now that I'm getting this card and I'm saying the king and expression. So if we remember that there might have been a period between ages roughly 12 to 16 in which, and I'm going to describe it as I experienced it. Of course, others have varying levels of experience, but I will try to characterize it in as general yet personal way as possible. You sort of go out into public, like before going out into public, once you become self-aware around those ages in puberty, you start to have a lot more self-consciousness. So that I remember feeling that before going out into public, I wanted to spend a long time getting ready, a very long time, and making sure I was very beautiful and it looked very beautiful and perfect. And then when I went out into public, even if I felt like I put a lot of effort into my appearance and that I liked it, I still sort of felt very, very, very self-conscious. Like I was very concerned that, I don't know, I just was very, very, very self-conscious, and I had a lot of anxiety about my appearance. Okay. When I was exploring around ages 13 to 15, certain styles, I started to realize which styles I felt most comfortable in, and that it wasn't necessarily important to look just a certain cookie cutter image, that maybe I could try to look towards the style that I personally uniquely liked. Okay? Stay with me. When I started to wear that style, I felt more comfortable and more confident, and I was no longer nearly as self-conscious about my appearance. So I discovered that by experimenting with the different styles. Before experimenting, I was locked into the cookie cutter sort of way of dressing and doing hair and stuff. And it became, for me, a bit generic, and I wanted to explore my own uniqueness. So that experience of doing that gave me a form of true expression for my king, which then gave me confidence, which then lowered the anxiety. That's what I'm getting here. So I think that not that everyone... I'm not saying this is for everyone as in like it's all about exploring your style. I'm just trying to give an example from like that I was like nostalgic about. But that's a time period too when your taste for yourself is really, really, really acute. It's not been watered down by society, media, family, and so on. It's all still very intact and very sharp. And of course, if you feel your taste has been watered down, you can always sharpen it. Please do not feel you can't get that potency back. You can. I'm just making the point that that's a time when you are very much your true self. So going back to that time to reconvene with those memories and understand like what drove you to want certain style choices and like whether you would do them now and what is stopping you and why not do, things that make you feel more you, basically. I'm saying do things that feel you, and this is a time frame in life. I went into a really long explanation to just explain to you that it's a time frame in life when you're very you, and it gives you an opportunity to review that and maybe apply that to your own self-expression, which can then give you satisfaction. Okay, here we go. Number 19, transformation. That is very interesting. This is in the Warrior. The Warrior to me represents routine, lifestyle, way of doing things, but also fight mode, survival, fight, flight, freeze, fawn, picking battles, fighting battles, confrontation, getting through difficulties. But it's also foundation, structure, root, meditation. It's like being able to be like rooted in your center, rooted in Mother Earth. It's connection to Mother Earth, to Gaia. What is my point? My point is that transformation, ending cycle. Mars and Pluto. Mars is with Pluto. Pluto is transformation. Mars is with Pluto in Capricorn. Root. Transforming. Okay, the way that I'm going to phrase this is your root chakra structure, listener, may be going through a cycle that ultimately replenishes its structure with fresh energy from the earth and releases old beliefs and fears. You're being called to be receptive to this change and calm about it, peaceful about it. And if you want to ground and meditate. Okay, let's go to the Lover. 45, let your light shine. It looks like when it comes to one of three, or all three, or any combination of thereof: self-love, romantic interest, or a partner, romantic partner. There's going to be yeah, I'm getting like this, like a deep breath in inspiration. Like your light is, you're radiant, you're glowing wherever you are, you're noticeable. And I think that your interest or yourself or your partner is noticing that. And if you are not quite there, know that your energy, if you're not quite to where you're ready to totally just let your light fully shine, like if you're still dealing with a lot of stuff, which I get because I've been there, know that your energy is always constant though. So like people are always experiencing your energy. It doesn't shut off fully. I mean, even if you are a person who is sort of dimming yourself a bit, or if you're like holding your heart closed a bit because you're scared of being hurt, because you're afraid to be vulnerable, you still, like, your energy is still very intense. Like, it's very much there. People do feel it. So please don't think that it's not being felt. And I just want to say, waxing crescent in Aries, I mean, it may feel like the stakes are really high, but they really are not that high. You know, have a normal day, work on your projects, whatever. But like, I just think enjoy. I think if you're noticed by your partner or interest or by yourself, like in the mirror or wherever, however you notice yourself, and you enjoy that, that it's a beautiful thing and it's to be enjoyed as it is. You're meant to shine. You're a being of, you are made out of star bits. So it's very, very normal that you, quote, shine, shine. It's safe to shine. I want you to shine. So if whatever you're doing today, tonight, tomorrow, let your light shine. Another way of putting that is be present, have presence, be present where you are in the now. Okay, let's go to the last card. I'm going to do a shuffle for that one. This deck, I really love. My sister gave it to me as a gift, as a present for my birthday. She's really a terrific gift giver. And these cards are beautiful. I mean, the art is really gorgeous. I mean, it's just, I feel like I'm dripping, by having this deck. And shuffling them is like cutting a cake. It's really good. I try to get a card out of this for you, for the mage, for the magician. Okay, popped right out. Thanks, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Oh, we got two for the mage. We got whispers and insight. 12 whispers, 13 insight. Okay. So the mage is getting ready to start going off. And we all have a different, in relationship with our mage energy. There are people who, if you look up Enneagram, people who are 5s, I think really identify with the magician archetype. So I didn't explain the lover. I explained the warrior, but not the lover. The lover, is it's self-love or love with a romantic. It's basically any form of love. Okay. And then, but the mage, the magician, that's the part of you that manipulates and controls energy. So it's like how you learn to control energy or manage it. with yourself or in exchange with others or in the world, or like it's also like what you like create, but it's also thoughts, words, the mind. I associate it with Uranus, Mercury, the moon, and Saturn and Neptune, because the moon to me is associated with the sacral chakra, which is like associated with the high priestess, which is where like the fluid of creation is, the womb, energy. So the sacral chakra is the second chakra, the womb chakra, and it's where creative energy is stored. It's throat, which is Mercury, throat chakra, Mercury, which is the magician. Mercury is thrice born. He is the magician in the archetypes. That planet is our magician. And it's the throat chakra. And the third eye, of course, the third eye. And the third eye is Uranus, in my opinion. It's insight. And basically, Uranus is father sky. And to me, the left hemisphere of the brain is Saturn and the right hemisphere of the brain is Neptune. Right brain, Neptune, dreams, mysteries, imagination. And then left brain, Saturn, limitations, structure, ideas. And you have this Uranus third eye. And so there's a lot of energies that are going into the mage or the magician, meaning that human beings are very powerful beings. We have a lot of magical powers, really. We literally have magical powers. And I always joke, because after listening to Dolores Cannon and so on, just being born on Earth is and getting our birth certificate is our letter from Hogwarts. We didn't have to worry about getting it in the mail or anything. So with whispers and insight, it looks like you're being called to very much listen to your intuition, listen to your inner voice right now, for every decision you make. And to some people and I am one of these people, so I'm going to say what I love to do and explain why this makes it hard to do this, who love to kind of really, really, really stimulate themselves. Like if you really enjoy just enjoying lots of things at one time and you like to be stimulated that way. Let's say you enjoy coffee and music and reading and a video in the background, and you just really are very stimulated by external stimuli. If you are a person like that, I am asking you, as I am also asking myself, to please take a few minutes, okay, to go within and get those messages, because they're very useful and they will influence your decision making. You're about to also receive, I just got this, you're about to receive a request or an offer that's going to change positively your trajectory for either your career or your love life. One of those two. You have to be receptive to that. It's a feminine energy, but a receptive yin energy. And go inside, go within to receive insights about your yourself and your trajectory. This year, I really, it's Wooden Tiger, Chinese year, zodiac. So I just feel like it's a very good year for self-work, but in a way that's not critical. Earlier in the reading, I used the term kintsugi. I think the same right now. It's like we really have to be loving ourselves, filling in the cracks with love and light, and understanding that healing we are all capable of it. So this could be very much a power year for a lot of people, and a healing year for many people as well. So great. Well, I hope that this helped at all. All right.